What the heck is Formula One?
Pole position, strategy,
yachts and parties,
safety car, Ferrari.
beautiful corners.
Oh, right, okay. There's a car in front of you. Try and overtake it.
Oh, I hate you so much. Hello, you fools. Mixing it up, Skin. Episode 9. We gotta do it.
Sure.
Do you know what I realised we didn't do in the last episode? We didn't intro our names. So anyone that was new has no clue who you are or I am. I mean, I think it's quite easy to figure it out.
Yeah, they could problem solve.
Yeah.
Check out Instagram and other episodes and we'll slowly work it out.
We also mentioned how, like, I said Skin, you said Disc, or Dave.
Yeah, true. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
well, let's do that for this
episode.
episode.
We can do that better this episode.
Yeah.
I'm Skin.
I'm Dave.
Job done. This is the Formula Fools podcast. In particular, this is our 34 and 34 little series that we're doing. It's 34 podcast episodes in 34 days leading up to the 2026 F1 season. We are having a little review of all the teams, then a reaction to some liveries in the cars that have been dropping, and then a look at every driver on the grid as well. So that is what we're doing. And you're here for episode 9, which is exciting. If you haven't listened to the previous ones, go check them out and make sure you follow along for the next 20 odd, if you don't mind. That'd be great.
Skin's a professional.
Oh,
well done, Skin.
Mate, I've been doing this for 9 episodes now. You know? It's just a well-oiled machine.
And by well-oiled machine, you mean you're sick of introing it now?
Oh, yeah.
You wait till 34. I promised fireworks in episode 3, I think. So, yeah, as Skin has mentioned, we're going to be reviewing teams. So this week's team is Audi or Sauber, but Audi.
Audi, yeah. Heaps to review. Long history.
Yeah. They've not had a race yet. Officially, their name is Audi Revolut.
Revolut.
Is it Revolut?
Yeah, that's a company.
Are they like one of them online bank things?
Yeah, some sort of online bank.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like them, borderless ones, like Wise, where you could get international card and use multiple currencies.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
I don't know much about it.
No, neither do I. So Audi Revolut Formula One Team. Pretty good name. Like Revolut's not that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that's
Revolut.
It rolls off the tongue.
Tried to do it like Revolting. I tried to just line up a pun, but
I see.
Yeah, I'm not that good at them.
Revolutionary.
Oh, good. That was better.
Yeah.
That was a lot better. Go Skin.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And then Audi obviously rolls off the tongue too. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely manufacturers.
Yeah. Their cars roll on the wheels. Anyway, we'll get the stupid tangent, Skin. They're a German-based works team. Obviously, anyone that doesn't know, Audi, German manufacturer. So they're a German-based works team. If they are successful, we'll be hearing some more German national anthems on the podium, just like we did in the Mercedes era. So get ready for that. It's the second longest national anthem in the world, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because I know that when Schumacher was with Ferrari, the Italian and German national anthem as a combo is the longest combo that you can have.
Fuck.
And obviously he won a lot for Ferrari.
Fuck.
So yeah.
Wait, what happens on the podium? They play the national anthem for the driver and the team?
And the team, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, because you know how they send a team representative up. So it'll go the driver's national anthem first and then the team's national anthem for the team's representative.
Holy heck, that's a long afternoon.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, especially when it's a German and Italian. Yeah. So everyone pray that Kimi Antonelli doesn't start winning for Mercedes because Italian, German team, would not be a good recipe for anyone that wants to watch a podium and is just there for the champagne. So obviously they have, oh my goodness, I do not know how to say this town, with a chassis base in Hinwil, Switzerland.
Okay.
The reason they're in Switzerland, we're going to move to that straight away now. The reason their base is in Switzerland is because Audi bought their team from Sauber. Peter Sauber was a Swiss engineer, businessman, whatever, who started Sauber F1 Team, which is the team that they've kind of taken over. So they've taken over all facilities and everything else. So it is not Sauber anymore. Fully expect the commentators to get it wrong and could still call them Sauber for at least the first few races, definitely in testing. Ted Kravitz will be one of the first culprits of that. He always gets the names wrong when they do major changes like this. But yeah, Sauber have officially sold to Audi, so they're taking over everything, including the factory. Expect that to move over the years. I think they'll stay in there probably until 2030, but I think over the next 5 years, they'll probably announce plans to move it either to Germany or to the UK. Just because it's closer to more test tracks, which will save them money in the long run and things like that. And just better facilities in the UK and Germany in terms of racing. Mm-hmm. So fully expect that to change in the coming years. So let's look back on Sauber from their name point of view, because Sauber are one of these teams like Williams, but back in '92, Williams were Williams Renault. So Renault were our engine supplier, and they had quite a big share in the company because of that. So Sauber have done some similar things. So Sauber the team was founded in 1970. They entered F1 in 1993. So there's obviously quite a long time there where they weren't in F1. They were doing other forms of motorsport. I'm going to assume rally and things like that, with them being Swiss based. There's quite a lot of like rally that runs in snow and through mountains and shit like that. So kind of that region of Europe is just a perfect region for them to be rally racers.
All right.
So entered in 1993. They went through a number of team names like Sauber, BMW, Alfa Romeo, Sauber, things like that. So when Alfa Romeo were in the sport, Alfa Romeo as a manufacturer were never in the sport. They were just a title sponsor and a name sponsor for Sauber. Sauber still built the cars, engineered, did all the shit behind the scenes. They just took over the livery and the name and everything like that. Much like you've looked into Red Bull from back in the day, and Red Bull used to have Aston Martin on the car. Aston Martin were never involved like they are today with the Aston Martin team. They were just a headline sponsor for Red Bull back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
I think so. And then was it a similar setup with BMW when they were involved?
BMW was a lot more hands-on. BMW, obviously, again, huge motorsport history. So they were a bit more hands-on, offered a bit more technical support and things like that. And I think BMW were trying to enter the sport more seriously, but it just kind of faded away. But yeah, I think BMW were a lot more seriously involved from a technical standpoint.
Okay.
Because like when it was Alfa Romeo, no one ever called them Alfa Romeo Sauber. That was technically their entry name, but everyone's called them Alfa Romeo. Whereas when it was BMW, everyone called them BMW Sauber. So there was more of a synergy and more of a partnership there instead of it just being title sponsor kind of vibes.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. Did BMW own it or own a piece of it? Do you know?
I think BMW would have owned shares. Right. Yeah, I think they would have owned shares in it, but not the full. Certainly not a majority. Peter Sauber or like the Sauber group has always owned the majority share.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was some story there around similar to, I think it was Braun we were talking about the other day. Yep. I thought they had a similar story around the GFC where Peter Sauber got to buy back the shares for $1 or some drama like that.
I don't know that side. So potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, potentially. I'm not 100% behind that. I never thought that was the case, but potentially.
No, would have been a good deal if that were the case.
Yeah, would have been a very good deal. But yeah, during the BMW Sauber, during Sauber's history, we've seen a lot of different eras from them. So Sauber arrived in obviously 93 and from 93 through to 2005, they kind of solidified themselves as a solid midfield team. They got a lot of good results, top 10 results. I mean, top 8 results back in the day when it was top 8 for points, but a lot of points finishing results. In 2001 was kind of their best season of this era where they finished 4th in the constructors. So really starting to show promise. And they signed a lot of good drivers back in the day. I'm sure the likes of Kimi Räikkönen, Jenson Button, I think Mark Webber went through the Sauber program. Petronas used to sponsor Sauber and Red Bull used to sponsor Sauber before they entered as a constructor. So there's a really funny livery. Remember we did the livery launches a year or two ago? We did a special episode on special liveries. They did that really weird one. I think it was them with the pipes that were dancing and moving and shit.
Oh,
do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And then the car rolls out and it's a car that's got Red Bull and Petronas on, which is really weird to see because Petronas and Mercedes headline sponsor now. And obviously Red Bull and Mercedes had that massive rivalry. So it's a very weird car to look back on. But yeah, I'm sure that was the 2001 car. And I'm sure that's the one that Kimi Räikkönen racing or testing in or something like that. So they had quite a lot of iconic drivers back in them early days, in that early era. Their second era is the BMW Sauber factory peak. So yeah, maybe BMW did take over for a period there. From 2006 to 2009, BMW takes over and Sauber becomes a full factory level project. Okay, bang, go skiing. Look at that.
Look at me go.
Look at you go skiing. Their peak moment was in 2008 at the Canadian Grand Prix with Robert Kubica winning and BMW Sauber getting a 1-2 at that race.
Wow.
Do you want to know what is very, very, makes this an even more peak moment?
Yep.
I'm sure it was 12 months before the Canadian Grand Prix, Robert Kubica had one of the biggest impacts, one of the biggest crashes in F1 history at the Canadian Grand Prix. His car pretty much snapped in half. Like I'm sure his legs were exposed because of the thing. Robert Kubica has been involved in some of the worst crashes in motorsport history. Yeah, like some of the crashes he's been involved in, they're just fucked that guy's still alive. Like he really is just testing his body at this point. But yeah, so at the Canadian Grand Prix, just before the hairpin, the like very famous iconic hairpin, it's a very fast straight. I can't remember exactly what happened, whether it was a car failure or he just lost control, but he loses control of the car, kind of jumps over the curb, which launches him into a concrete barrier head on, hits the concrete barrier, gets spun around, hits it again, and then shoots across the track. It's scary to watch. It's very scary to watch, especially because it was the V8 era, or was it the V10? No, V8. I'm sure it was the V8 era back then. And to hear the V8 roar, like the high pitch, like scream of the V8, all of a sudden, as soon as he takes off, you just hear it. Like you hear the revs just go through the roof, and then he hits the wall and it just stops. It's very painful it's a hard clip to watch.
But he was all right.
Well, he came back a year later and won the fucking race, which is what I'm saying. It makes the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix even more of a fucking iconic moment because he had a phenomenal crash a year prior.
Wow.
Yeah.
Without wanting to make this a Robert Kubica episode, didn't he end up driving for ages? Like, wasn't he still in F1 in 2020 or something? Like hovering around doing stuff? Yeah.
So Robert Kubica's story, we need to do a full episode on Kubica's career. So he was in BMW Sauber, was very impressive in the BMW Sauber. Everyone said he entered a similar time as Lewis Hamilton, and it was like, Lewis Hamilton's going to be a world champion. Robert Kubica is going to be a world champion. Like, this guy's he's a freak. Like, he was one of the only people that on like through data they could look at and say he's close to Lewis Hamilton.
Oh.
Like from a data point of view, not in the same car, but very impressive. He signed a contract for Ferrari, and then right before he was going to drive for Ferrari, they told him he wasn't allowed to do rally anymore. And rally was a very big passion of his. He was in a rally race, time trial, I think, and he lost control. The car was pierced by a highway barrier kind of thing. It severed his arm, and Ferrari dropped, well, they didn't drop him. He physically could not race. He was in hospital for a very long time. It was a very long recovery. And he wasn't in F1 for years, and then made a return in, I think 21 or something, to race alongside George Russell in the Williams, which was just how the fuck he made a return. His hand is like this, like he can barely move his finger. He doesn't have full range of motion. He has to hold it like this because his muscle was replaced by muscle from his leg, and he had skin grafts. And if you look at his arm and everything, it looks. You would look at him and you go, "There's no fucking way this guy can race." His arm's skinnier than mine on one side. So the fact he made a return. The fact he made a return to F1, impressive. The fact he fucking won Le Mans and several other endurance races in the World Endurance Championship last year for Ferrari, even more impressive.
Okay.
Like, he was a Le Mans winner last year. And
last year.
In 2025. Remember the one, I literally like slept in the Chalk studio just so I could watch the fucking race. Yeah. Like, the reason I did that was because Robert Kubica was racing for Ferrari and had a chance of winning.
Wow.
And I frothed the guy so fucking much that I was just like, I have to watch Kubica race for Ferrari.
Right.
And I'll be honest, without Kubica in that car, I don't think the other guys would have got the chocolates that day. Wow. He put some amazing stints in.
Okay.
Anyway, so back to Sauber.
Well, that's Kubica. And so Sauber.
So back to Sauber. So yeah, that was their kind of era 2, and now they.
Can I ask before you get on to era 3?
Absolutely.
So, era 2, they have this big win in 2008 with Kubica in the Grand Prix, Canadian Grand Prix in 2008. 2007.
Yep.
They finished second in the Constructors' Championship.
Yep.
With, I presume, 0 race wins if 2008 was their first race win.
No, it was Robert's first race win, I think. Oh, no, I didn't even say first race win. I just said they got a win at Canada.
Okay, I know what you've said. What I'm saying is I'm pretty sure it was their only
That was their first race win. And they finished, I knew they finished P2 in 07, but they didn't win a race in 07.
I don't think so.
Holy fuck.
How did they do that?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, 07, thinking about it now. I'd need to research this because of Spygate. I'm not sure if McLaren lost a heap of points because they were found to be cheating in 07. So I think they may have been disqualified from the 07 championship, or they may have lost a lot of their championship points. So that could have given them P2. because I know Ferrari won in 07.
Right. Okay.
And I think they lost a bunch of constructors' points, but the drivers didn't lose their points for McLaren.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. If anyone knows, please comment below because I don't know. But that we'd need to look into that one a bit closer.
Okay.
But I'm not 100%.
I found that astounding. Finishing second with no race wins.
That is very, that's very phenomenal from them. But then in 2009, BMW exited Formula One and the team returned back to an independent, just Sauber, and they were kind of in survival mode and were trying to bring any and all sponsors on. Which BMW leaving, we talk about race wins, we talk about them finishing P2 in 07. Why would they leave in 09? The financial crisis of 07, 08 was really hitting teams in 09. We saw, BMW, Toyota left in 09. Honda pulled out for 09, and then Braun had to obviously take over and buy the team. We saw 3 major car manufacturers leave the sport in either going into 09 was Honda, and then exiting 09 was Toyota and BMW. And it was kind of a dire time for F1. We were losing sponsors left, right, and center because the financial crisis. So the fact that Sauber kept pushing on and kept cars on the grid was mighty impressive from them. They brought drivers on like Checo, who were phenomenal drivers, but also brought Mexican back in and brought a lot of sponsors. And Checo had a lot of success. So that kind of takes us on to their next era, 2010 through to kind of today. But I would say 2010 through to, the ground effects of 2022 kind of 2021 kind of thing. So yeah, independent. They bring Sauber on in 2012. They bring him on, and in 2012 he gets quite a lot of podiums with them. There was a very funny race where Sauber have always had a Ferrari engine back in this day, and there was a moment where Fernando was in title contention against Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull, Fernando being in the Ferrari at the time. And Sergio Perez was putting in these mighty sectors and mighty lap times, catching Fernando for first place. And it was kind of like this really awkward thing where he was just crazy pace. There was no way Fernando was going to hold him back. And then all of a sudden, Checo just slowed down. And it was like, oh, okay, Ferrari have picked up the phone and have called Sauber and told them to slow the fuck down. Otherwise, they might not have good engines next season. Kind of vibe. These were the rumors at the time. Was like, there's no way that Checo's tire. He was on pretty much fresh tires. Like there was no way his tires were going to fall off a cliff or anything. He was going to beat Fernando. And if you are Ferrari and you have that kind of power, fucking go for it. I don't blame you. Yeah, but Checo certainly set the tone of who he was as a driver in Sauber. And I think if you think of Sauber from this era, you think of Checo, in my opinion. You think of either Robert or Checo. For me, they're the 2 drivers for Sauber's history. Obviously, they rebranded in 2024 after this era to Kick Sauber. This was when Audi was starting to look at them, so they were just kind of going to take Kick/Stake, which is a gambling platform, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I've heard they're amazing people.
Somewhat, yeah.
I've heard they're amazing people with a lot of sponsorship money to burn on podcasts and things. So listen, I don't gamble that much, but like Skin said, if you pay me enough money, that is probably a terrible thing to say. So I'm sorry to anyone. Anyway, we don't shut the fuck up, Dave. Cut all of that.
Mate, you got to be happy to take people's money.
Oh, I'm more than. Oh, listen, they are fantastic people.
You got to pay the bills, dude.
And green is my favorite color. So yeah, so they rebranded. I think that was from Sauber's point of view. Like, let's try and get some money. Let's try and get some money in the back pocket, get some results under our belt for the next couple of years, because they knew that they were attracting the likes of Audi to potentially buy out and then turn into a works team. And that brings us to 2026. Audi have officially taken over, as we mentioned before. They've got the backing, the funding from they've got Audi Sport behind them, and they've put money behind this project. Audi have, and they're really focusing on the future of making this a very big team and making it a successful team. They're not here to fuck spiders. They're here to fucking win. Don't think 2026 will be their year. I think they'll do good, but I don't think they'll win. Prove me wrong, please. I would love to see a Hülkenberg victory or a Bortoleto victory, but I think certainly their eyes are for 2028-9 kind of era. Have a few years to settle the feet in, get their engine good, and then fucking go from there.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about the project. Like, how is this different from things that have happened in the past, right? Like, you look at, you've just spoken about how they were BMW for a while and all these other teams for a while. And like, how is the, like last year we did this big goodbye to Sauber. It's like the end of Sauber. They're not going to be an F1 team anymore.
Yeah.
How's this different from like sponsors coming in as title sponsors, right? Like, I get that Audi have bought it and they purchased everything and it's a full takeover. But if they've just bought the team and now they have all the same people and all the same factories and all the same equipment and largely the same car and the same two drivers, like, is it not essentially just the same team with a different logo slapped on it? Like,
yeah, you could look at it like that.
Like, what's exciting about this prospect?
Yeah, so certainly on the surface, that's what it looks like. The exciting thing about this project for me is that, yes, from Abu Dhabi to today, there won't be that many structural changes from a hiring point of view and from a factory point of view. There won't be many changes from Abu Dhabi to today. But when Audi first started looking at this project, Audi hired the likes of Mattia Binotto, who used to be the team principal at Ferrari, who was a Ferrari engineer for many, many years, like from back in the early 2000s. Mattia has been in the sport. So Audi actually hired him before they had acquired or signed anything with Sauber. So he was already on the payroll, and his job was to, help get the deal across the line and to start approaching engineers, strategists, aerodynamicists, media teams and mechanics, and literally top to bottom. That was his job, to start building the team up for if Audi do purchase them. And so I think that was quite obvious in early 2024 that Mattia started showing up around the paddock again and having conversations, and everyone inside the paddock kind of knew Audi are they're making a statement here that, they're approaching people. And then in early 2025, when it was officially announced that they were going to be taken over as of 26, they made big signings. So their team principal for 2026 is Jonathan Wheatley, who was the team principal last year. Jonathan Wheatley was, I can't remember what his role was, but he was at Red Bull for many, many years. During both their successes, Jonathan Wheatley was there and is a phenomenal, I think he's an engineer. I'm pretty certain he's not an aerodynamicist. He could have been on the strategy team. I can't exactly remember what his background is in, but Jonathan Wheatley is a name around the paddock that is not to be fucked with. Like, Red Bull's dominant eras, he was one of the top dogs in Red Bull. So he's a very big name in the sport. It's like if you throw around the name James Vowles before he was TP. It's like everyone knew who James Vowles was before he became TP. He's now got, a few years under his belt of managing Williams. Jonathan's going into a second year of being team principal at Sauber, and I think that was a very smart hire from them. So he started this year's project in January last year. Mattia started this year's project in 2024. And there's been people behind the scenes starting this year's project, 2024, 2025, all through these years. So yeah, you can look from Abu Dhabi to today. Not a lot is going to have changed. But the thing is, this year's car has been thought of and under development from its earliest possible moment from an Audi perspective, with Audi technology, with Audi historical data and everything like that, and with Audi funding and Audi wind tunnels and testing facilities and things like that as well, R&D facilities, software, all these kind of things. So it's not Sauber doing it anymore with Sauber's limited resources and Sauber's old factories and things. Yes, they're still running out of that stuff, but a lot of the software, a lot of the new equipment and new people that they've brought on board are going to have amplified that. But that's, again, why I'm saying 2028, 2029 could be their seasons, because this is still going to be a building year for them. It'll be statement like we're midfield, but I certainly don't think they'll win because there's still a number of years to get the factory up to scratch, get people settled in their jobs and things like that. Mm-hmm. Which for me is ultimately why they've gone for Nico Hülkenberg, Gabriel Bortoleto. If they're investing in Bortoleto for their future as a young driver, great investment. He's a phenomenal driver. Don't think he'll be a world champion. Who knows? But I think he's a phenomenal driver and he will push that team forward. Hulk for the next year, maybe 2 years, is a great driver with a lot of knowledge from different teams. He will be able to advise and push that car in different ways than what Bortoleto will be able to do, just because of his knowledge of racing, especially racing in Formula One. So That to me is not a driver lineup where they're saying we want to challenge for wins in 2026 or 2027. That's a lineup that says we've got a very good lineup to battle in the midfield, but we're looking at the future and we're looking at building a stable long-term team instead of small-term success.
Mm-hmm.
Strengths, obviously factory back in from and the one major thing this year that is different from last year. Last year they were running a Ferrari engine, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Audi engine from now.
Really?
Yeah. So Audi enter as an engine manufacturer and have been building this engine for a couple of years now. Like as soon as they could start that project.
Oh wow.
That was the other thing I wanted to launch into. Yeah.
They've got their own engine.
Audi engine. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Audi will have their own engine and they'll be the only team with that engine on the grid.
Yeah. So we've got 2 teams on the grid this year that are unique like that. Audi have their own engine and Aston Martin, we didn't mention this in the Aston Martin episode, but Aston Martin have Honda Power and they're the only team with Honda Power next year.
Okay.
Because Honda used to be with Red Bull and Racing Bulls. They've gone to Ford, Racing Bulls and Red Bull. So they're now Ford powered this year. And then Honda with Aston Martin, Audi with Audi. Okay. Cadillac have got, I think, a Ferrari engine.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Alpine have gone to Mercedes.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting, yeah. So that's the one big thing. That's the one big difference as well for Audi.
Yeah, sick.
Is that they're not going to have the same engine.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, strengths, they've got that factory back in with the new infrastructure across Switzerland, Germany and the United Kingdom. As I've said, I think things will start to shift towards more Germany and the United Kingdom as the years go on and as they start to build new things. Look at when Aston Martin took over from Racing Point. They very quickly, within the first year or two, announced that, they broke ground, they bought land, they were going to build a new factory, they'd got it all approved and everything. I imagine within the next year or two, we'll see the same from Audi, either in Germany or in England. We'll see them start to break ground on a new factory that will open in 2 or 3 years' time, or 2 or 3 years post that. Weaknesses, I think the biggest weakness for them, Audi as a brand is very iconic. There's a lot of hype behind this project and this team. And I think the big weakness for them could be not being able to translate that hype into results and then their hype and their popularity fading fairly quick. I think they need to manage that hype expectation quite early on.
Okay.
Yeah. We just don't know how they're going to run, how the engine's going to go and everything else. It's a big question mark. So they need to manage that and be on top of it.
You know what I think their biggest weakness is?
Go on, Skin.
If they have the same or a very similar team to last year.
Yeah.
Is their pit stops.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Our old Sauber. So Sauber have been around since 1993 or something. I've been watching for 2 years. So I've seen these 2 years of them as stake and kick.
Yeah.
And poor old fucking watching Valtteri Bottas sitting in the pits for like 5 minutes sipping a coffee. No.
Was he in stake? Oh, yeah, because it was...
Yeah, it wasn't Bottas with...
Was it Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou in stake for the first year?
Yeah.
And then it was Hulkenberg. Yeah, right. Oh, fuck, I forgot that they did that for what? They were there 24.
Yeah, hopefully I've got that right. I'm sure
I think, yeah. Because I'm sure I remember when they did the flame livery, I'm seeing the photo of Bottas with the flamed overalls and stuff with Guan Yu Zhou. Yeah, true.
Okay, all right. Ooh, yeah, I've got that
no,
right.
you are right.
Yeah, watching that poor man just sitting in the pit stops, like you'd see the little timers, like pit stop timers on the side of the screen, it's like 3 minutes. Like, what are you possibly doing?
It hurts, doesn't it? Even this season, I thought you were going to talk about this season's one because I remember the Hulkenberg one in China or something like that when he was sat there for like 49 seconds or some shit, and it was like, what's the point? Like, fucking retire at that point.
Literally.
Yeah, they need to really sort. I forgot about that.
I don't know what happens there or what caused all of that, but hopefully Audi can sort that out.
Yeah, that needs to be priority. Whatever you say. Numero. I can't speak Spanish. Numero uno. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so what's our race strategy this year, boys? Well, we're losing 3 minutes every race in the pits, so maybe we should fix that.
Why are we finishing 45 seconds behind everyone? Well, you see these 3 minutes that we sat doing nothing? Yeah, maybe fix that.
I reckon if we get a kilo off the car, we can chase down like a tenth of a second every lap. What about these 3 minutes?
Yeah. What about these 3 minutes where the cars just weren't running? Hey, remember how Valtteri was able to literally jump out, take a shit, and get back in the car? Let's not let him do that. Oh, good gear, Skin. Yeah. That is a very good point, though. That is definitely a weakness they need to rectify. Oh, it's painful to see that shit as well because you've got the names like Mattia, Binotto, Jonathan Wheatley, Nico Hulkenberg. You've got these big names for the team, and it is just like small mistakes like that are really what
Oh yeah.
make you look like dog shit or mediocre.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Williams went through an era of having the fastest pit stops. Like we would, the DHL fastest pit stop like leaderboard they do at each race.
Yeah.
Like I think we had the world record before Red Bull got it, and then now McLaren have got it. So Williams during the Williams Martini eras, we had by far the best pit stops, like 1.9s, 2.1s. Every single stop was fucking on fire. And then we had this 1 year where we rocked up and we did like 6-second pit stops, 7-second pit stops. And it was like, what the fuck has happened? Like how from 3 months ago were we doing 1.9s to now this? It was just like all overnight something changed, and it took us ages to rectify it, to get on top of it. And we still kind of haven't gotten back to our fast pit stops like we used to have.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So yeah, very, very strange pit stops. Pit stops are very strange.
Can I also just ask, you mentioned it was a bit sad to watch with all those big names, Sauber doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Obviously, as someone who's only watched a couple of years of F1, I've just seen Stake and Kick, and they've been
Weapons.
dog shit.
Sorry, dog shit, yeah.
I don't know how to put that politely. Their last 2 seasons for Sauber have not been very good.
Yeah.
And then looking back at their history, right, they've been around since 1993. They've had one race win in 2008 and no
They've only had one race win the total.
I'm pretty sure they've had one race win.
That
They've had
sucks.
no championships. Their peak was finishing second with no race wins in 2007.
Yep.
Is that a bit of a sad story? Like it feels sad.
Yeah.
Like they've been there since 1993 and kind of just been mediocre the whole time. Like, is that fair to say?
It's
growing up watching F1, was it fun watching them, or was it always pretty sad?
No, it was fun watching them. They always had good drivers. They always put on a good show, and they were always known as like a midfield team that weren't afraid to like roll their sleeves up kind of thing and like go racing. Like they would let their drivers like wheel to wheel race and shit like that. But yeah, certainly, I think it's in retrospect now that you can look at that and go, yeah, 32-year history in the sport. No championships, no race wins, not many race wins, Yeah, it's quite sad.
Yeah.
Like I look at Williams since 97, like we've not done that much, and that pains me. But I'm resting on the previous 20 years before that. The fact that we do have eight championships in the bag and multiple, a lot of drivers' world championships, like, and a lot of race wins and things. Like, take that away, Williams would also be quite a sad story since 98 onwards. But yeah, wow. No, I never really thought about them like that. Okay. But then there were just teams like Sauber that are just, and this is what I'm saying with Haas is I feel like this is where Haas falls into, is that they are just a midfield team.
Yeah.
And that is kind of all they're ever going to be. It's that mindset of we're going to push for a world championship. And I think that's why ultimately Sauber have sold to Audi, because they know that if the men and women that work for that team are hungry, that factory is hungry for a championship. And if they want to get there, I think they ultimately have exhausted all avenues. They need something bigger to be able to go and do it.
Nice.
I think for Williams, the same. That's why the Williams found, that's why Claire sold, was because she didn't want the team to just go bankrupt and for all the men and women at Williams to lose their jobs and the factory to be closed. She knew to protect the future of the company, she needed to sell. And that also meant for Williams to return back to winning ways, she needed to sell to a company that were willing to respect the history, but invest in the right ways for the future. And I think that's the Audi project as well.
Yeah. Nice.
That's kind of a good way to end.
That's optimistic. Looking forward at least. Yeah. Come on.
I know a few people. There's a friend of mine, Tom, who I was literally messaging him like 2 days ago, and he was like, we were talking about Williams, and he was like, mate, he's been a McLaren fan his whole life. He's like, I love Audi. He's like, I've always loved Audi, and he watches like some endurance racing and stuff. And he was like, I've always loved Audi in endurance racing, in the rally. He's always owned Audi cars. He's like, I'm a full Audi fan this year. He's like, I'm going all in.
Really?
Yeah, he's going for it. Yeah, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people like that because Audi's sporting history is very iconic.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people similar that are gonna jump over to that project, which is amazing. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Audi episode. This is episode 9 in the 34 episode series. They're going well. We're getting through them. We've got what date are we on now? We're on the 17th. So we've got 14. We've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks today till the first episode goes live.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we're
cruising.
well ahead of the curve.
We're cruising.
Yeah, you say they're going well. The recording is going well. We have no idea how they're performing because they're not.
Yeah, sure. Listen, if you're listening to this one, drop a comment. Tell us how the first 8 episodes have gone and now the 9th episode has gone. Tell us if you're enjoying the series. Please give us like genuine feedback because we're shooting in the dark here. We do not know how these are going to go, and we're doing it. We're on a project here that we are just hoping is going to be something that you guys want to listen to. So if you are enjoying it, thank you so much for enjoying it. And thank you for engaging and following and liking and commenting and everything else you can do. That support means everything to us. And 9 episodes in, I hope this, I remember sitting down and telling Skin that this is what I wanted to do. And Skin was like, okay. And I was like, think about it. Don't give me an answer now because this is a huge effort that we need to, like, it's a huge amount of work we need to put in. So it was very nerve-wracking going into this. And it means a lot if you're listening.
Yeah, for sure. But no, it's a cool idea. It's an exciting concept. I really like it, Disc. And even regardless of how they perform or who listens or whatever, I've genuinely enjoyed sitting here picking your brain having this conversation. So it's been nice. But certainly if you've got any feedback or any thoughts, that'd be great because obviously we will have recorded the other episodes, so we probably can't apply it to tomorrow's episode, but we've got the whole season ahead of us where we're going to be sort of keeping up with what's going on in the F1 world and trying to learn more and more. So we'll keep trying to get better and see how we go.
Fuck yeah. That's it. Well, thank you for listening. We normally have a regular outro, but for these ones, we've just kind of been rambling like this. So we will see you tomorrow for Alpine's episode.
Come on.